I'll never forget the sound, a gut-wrenching crunch of metal on metal, brakes screeching too late, and a collective gasp from neighbors who'd poke their heads out to see what the hell was going on. It was the kind of noise that stops time, the kind that makes your heart lurch and your coffee go cold in your hand. That crash, right outside my house in the sleepy Willow Creek neighborhood, flipped everything upside down. I was on my porch, halfway through my morning ritual, when I saw the delivery truck from Elite Home Goods inching down our narrow street. Try to dodge Lisa, Harper's gleaming silver BMW parked smack across my driveway. Again, the driver did his best, but there's only so much you can do when someone's car is hogging the road like it owns the place. The truck clipped the BMW's side with a sickening scrape, and before the dust could settle, Lisa came tearing out of her house 2 doors down, her face twisted with fury. Her heels clacked like gunfire on the pavement as she charged the truck, screaming, "What the hell did you do to my car?" The driver, a wiry guy clutching a clipboard, just pointed at her car, "Come as you please. Lady, you're blocking their driveway." I had no room. I stood there, sipping my coffee, feeling a tiny spark of satisfaction. After months of Lisa's nonsense, it felt like the universe was finally keeping score. My wife, Sarah, and I had moved to Willow Creek 6 months earlier, chasing the dream of our first homey, a cozy 3-bedroom with a neat little yard we could call our own. The neighborhood was picture perfect, tidy lawns, blooming flower beds, the kind of place where kids ride bikes until dusk. But we hadn't counted on the Homeowners Association being a one-woman dictatorship. On our second day, Lisa Harper, HOA president and self-proclaimed queen of Willow Creek, showed up at our door with a binder thicker than a phone book. "Welcome," she said, her smile sharp enough to cut glass. "These are our community rules. We don't do chaos here." Her eyes flicked to Sarah's marigolds by the door, and I could tell she was already writing us up in her head. That binder was a rule book for her reign, 50 pages of do's and don'ts, from approved paint colors to how many days you could leave a Christmas wreath up. "First violation's a warning," she said, her voice dripping with authority. "After that, you'll pay." I nodded, closed the door, and shot Sarah a look. We'd heard about people like Lisa, but we figured she was just a caricature. We were wrong. Lisa wasn't just real. She was relentless. She made it her mission to keep us in line, like we were trespassers in her kingdom. At first, we played along. We painted our mailbox the correct shade of slate gray, hid our trash cans behind the garage, and even took down Sarah's favorite wind chimes after Lisa sent a snarky note about unauthorized noise. But 3 months in, we noticed her silver BMW creeping into our lives literally. She started parking it right across our driveway, making it impossible to get in or out without a 12-point turn. The first time, I walked over and knocked on her door. "Hey, Lisa, your car's blocking us. Could you move it?" I asked, keeping it friendly. She was pruning her roses, and she peeled off her gloves like I was interrupting a royal audience. "It's temporary," she said, rolling her eyes. "My driveway's full landscapers are coming. You'll manage." But it wasn't temporary. 3 days later, it happened again. Then twice the next week. It always seemed to be when we had plans, friends coming over, a grocery delivery, you name it. One night, we had to cancel dinner with friends because we couldn't get our car out, and Lisa was conveniently out when we rang her bell. Her excuses got flimsier every time. "The street's public," she'd say, smirking. "First come, first served." I'd had enough. I fired off a polite but firm email to the HOA board, laying out the issue with dates and times. The reply was a brush off. "We'll discuss parking at the next meeting." I didn't need a detective to figure out Lisa had squashed it herself. Meanwhile, her petty power trips got worse. We started getting violation notices for the dumbest things. A Halloween pumpkin left out 2 days past October, unapproved daisies in our garden, even excessive vehicle traffic because we had a barbecue. Every time I saw her strutting around the neighborhood, she'd flash that smug smile, like she was untouchable. My brother, Mike, gave me some advice over the phone after I vented. "Document everything," he said. "If she's abusing her power, you'll catch her." So I started to log dates, times, photos of her car blocking us. Sarah had a better idea, a security camera. "For safety," she said with a sly grin. We set up a high-def camera under the garage eaves, angled to catch our driveway and the street. It saved footage to the cloud and pinged our phones when it detected motion. Smart move. The very next day, our new washer was due, and I was working from home to let the delivery guys in. My phone buzzed with a camera alert, and there it was, Lisa's BMW, parked like a barricade across our driveway. The delivery truck was creeping forward, the driver clearly sweating as he tried to squeeze through. The street was tight, and Lisa's car left no room. I was heading for the door when I heard it crash. A bone-rattling scrape as the truck's rear corner tore into the BMW's passenger side, gashing the door and crumpling the fender. The camera caught it all. 2:17 p.m., crystal clear proof that Lisa's car was illegally parked. Lisa flew out of her house like a banshee, her face red as she stormed the driver. "You idiot," she shrieked, loud enough to wake the dead. "This car's worth more than your paycheck. I'm calling the cops, your boss, and my lawyer." The driver, a grizzled guy in his 50s, didn't flinch. "Ma'am, your car's blocking their driveway. Company policy says we're not liable if you're parked illegally." Lisa was shaking with rage. "I'm the HOA president," she snapped. "I decide what's allowed here." By now, neighbors were peeking out, drawn by the chaos. I stepped forward, phone in hand, the footage still rolling. "Actually, Lisa," I said, keeping my voice steady, "city law and HOA rules say you can't block driveways. I've got video of you doing it over and over, including right now." I turned to the driver. "Go ahead and finish the delivery. I'll move my car for you." Lisa's eyes darted from me to the phone to the neighbors now clustering around. For once, she looked rattled. She tried to recover. "This isn't over," she hissed. "That camera's illegal without HOA approval." But she'd miscalculated. Mrs. Chun from across the street piped up. "Actually, Lisa, you signed off on cameras last year. They're allowed." Other neighbors nodded, and I could feel the tide turning. Lisa's grip on Willow Creek was slipping, and everyone could see it. The cops showed up after Lisa's 911 call, but it didn't go her way. They watched the footage, took statements, and slapped her with a ticket for illegal parking. "Your insurance won't like this," the officer said as Lisa sputtered. "The truck company's in the clear." 3 days later, the HOA board without Lisa called an emergency meeting. I'd sent them my log and a video, and once the dam broke, neighbors poured out their own stories of Lisa's vendettas. Unfair fines, selective rule enforcement, you name it. The meeting was packed. I presented my EVY Denke, and Lisa sat there, stone-faced, as her neighbors aired years of grievances. When a vote came, it was unanimous. Lisa was out as president and hit with a DULA $2,500 fine for parking violations, abuse of power, and making Willow Creek feel like a prison. As the gavel fell, Lisa lost it. "This is bullshit," she yelled, her voice cracking. "I've kept this place perfect for 8 years. You'll all regret this." She stormed out, her heels clicking like a countdown to her downfall. The look on her face, pure shock and humiliation, was something I'll carry with me. Willow Creek feels different now. The air's lighter, like we can all breathe again. Sarah's marigolds are back, and nobody's sent us a violation notice since. But I keep thinking about that crash, the moment Lisa's world started to unravel. Was it karma? Dumb luck? Or just the INEVY table end of someone who thought they could bully their way forever? What do you think? Was Lisa just a control freak who got what she deserved? Or did the neighborhood go too far in taking her down? Should I have tried harder to work things out before it got to this? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories like this. Let's hear your take. This one's bound to spark some debate.